Trump has not even been in office for a month. So actually, blame Biden, who I thought had the greatest economy in the world. Remember that? That's what their talking points were. Hillary Fordwich, global business consultant, Richard Stern with the Heritage Foundation. Hillary, it takes a little time, especially considering that most of those job numbers, half of them existed under Biden.
Yes, they did. And Carl, pleasure to be back with you. This actually reminded me, though, of 5 months ago. Remember when we had that Secretary of Commerce, Romaldo? And remember when Gina Romaldo, and she was asked about the revision downward of 818,000 jobs. And she said she had not heard of the BLS. She was not familiar with the BLS, the labor statistics. It reminds me of that. Why, Carl? Because these revisions have gone down and down month after month, and they all threw up their hands and said they didn't know what this was about and they knew nothing about it. Those were people actually in the administration. So yes, now to your question and your point, Trump doesn't have a magic wand. President Trump has just come into office. It is going to take a while for all of his policies to take effect. And I think something that every American should be scared about is that 1 million foreigners, in other words, illegals, were able to find jobs. Only 8,000 Americans. Those jobs, any job gains were not going to Americans. And that is the saddest.
Which also hurt the entry-level job workers, like kids coming out of high school and college or summer jobs or things like that. So they couldn't get the skills. But, Richard, when you dive into that overall report, you'll find, speaking of those revisions, that the labor statistics again revised down the pace of jobs for 2024 for the period. They actually added 600,000 fewer jobs in total, 143 down in January, which Biden was president for 20 days of.
Oh, absolutely. Again, this is what the left does. They just make up statistics. We are down 1.4 million jobs on paper from what the Biden administration claimed to their own funny numbers that they did at, as Hillary pointed out, an agency that they couldn't even remember existed. I mean, this is a joke, but this is the same joke that the Biden administration forced down the throats of every American. And you're absolutely right. We're looking at the ramifications of 4 years of Bidenomics, of reckless spending, of reckless regulation, of cost of living overruns. And all of this is still the legacy of Biden. And so I'm glad we've got Trump who's picking up the pieces and putting the train back on the tracks. But it will certainly take more than 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, well, eggs are like, I think Democrats, Hillary, are going to come back to regret this because Republicans basically took pictures of pumps every single day under Biden and watched the price of oil and gas go up and up and up. And, we talked about egg prices. Here's some liberal freaking out about the price of eggs 9 days into his presidency. Roll it.
Prices are going up, price of eggs.
Because we know the cost of eggs is just like insane right now.
The majority of white people voted for this. This is the disgusting version of America that people want. And oh, by the way, eggs are still more expensive.
This is the party, Hillary, that told us eggs were bad for you. Don't eat them. They're unhealthy. Look, this is personal to me, okay? I eat 6 eggs before I go to the gym and 6 to 12 right after it. It's expensive.
Oh, great that you eat that many eggs, Carl. Absolutely fabulous. Also, by the way, there's been bird flu. If you actually read anything or if they knew what was going on, the bird flu epidemic is what's caused it. But by the way, also, when you mentioned about the gas prices, when they kept their eyes on gas prices, it was scary at the end of the Biden administration when gas prices were coming down. The world was not any more peaceful, Carl. We weren't drilling anymore. It was that they were releasing reserves from our strategic petroleum reserve. Yeah. And the reason it's called strategic in the SPR is because it's supposed to be for the safety of our nation. That was very dangerous and very worrying for Americans. I hope President Trump fills that.
Yeah, and Richard, I got about 30 seconds left here. But Joe Biden, nobody's talking about the fact that Joe Biden, because of the risk of bird flu, had killed 100,000 chickens.
Oh, it's a parting gift from the Biden administration. So selling off the strategic petroleum reserve and frankly, selling off the country to help his donors. That's the legacy of Bidenomics in a nutshell.
Yeah, no, these people, it's unbelievable. It feels like cows, we can't eat them because they fart, and chickens have bird flu, even though there's a bazillion other types of birds out there. But the ones we eat are the only ones that seem to have a problem. Thanks, Bill Gates. Hillary, Richard, appreciate it.